What happens when all your lies come to the surface? Hey guys, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing to talk about the Joshua Hunsucker case and the reason why he unalived his wife and almost unalived his daughter. Just so you guys know, this video is for entertainment and education purposes only, so let's get started. In my last video, I did say that Joshua Hunsucker passed away in February 2015 from cardiac arrest. However, I forgot to mention that when she experienced cardiac arrest that day, she was not breathing properly, so she was put on a ventilator. And when she was released, she was given a pacemaker that was implanted inside her body. Now, for those who don't know, a pacemaker is a small device. It needs batteries, but it's a small device that a doctor puts inside I believe the first layer of your skin, in order to help patients who have irregular heartbeats. And ultimately the pacemaker helps those patients who do have irregular heartbeats to better regulate them. And it wasn't until September 2018 where Stacy had a cardiac arrest again, and this time she sadly passed away. You see, on September 23rd, 2018, both Joshua and Stacy were working from home, and at one point during their day, Stacy slumped to the ground. But when it came time for Joshua to tell what exactly happened on that day that led up to her slumping down, it would always differ. So when he would talk to the paramedics and to the police dispatcher, he would say that when he came back inside from making sure that the cars were locked, because according to him there were a lot of burglaries happening. After he came back inside from making sure that the cars were locked, Stacy was slumped to the ground. When he would tell his friends about what happened, he would say that she was slumped off of the couch when he came back from doing his daily jog. And this one was the most interesting to me when it was time to tell his mother-in-law, Susie Robinson. He would say that we were both working, and I was working in the kitchen, and I believe he said that Stacy was either in the family room or the living room, but either way, he would say that his back was facing towards Stacy, and when she slumped to the ground, that he turned around, and that's when he noticed it. Now, despite all this, by the time the paramedics did come, Stacy was sadly pronounced dead, and it was confirmed that she did pass away from a cardiac arrest. Now, considering that Stacy had problems with her heart as well as a cardiac arrest before, they did not think anything suspicious. They just ruled it out as natural causes in regards to her death. That is until and they did not suspect Joshua at all. That's until they noticed how Joshua was acting during the events leading after Stacy's passing. Now, after Stacy was officially pronounced dead, she was scheduled to have an autopsy done on her body. However, that never happened, as Joshua kept insisting to skip the autopsy and just move forward with the cremation, which only happened 2 days later. And this is what made me suspicious of Joshua. When it came time to start planning her funeral, set up everything. Joshua never was part of it. He left everything to his parents-in-laws. And when it came time for the actual funeral, he was not showing sadness, anger, frustration, nothing. It was like he was indifferent to the whole thing and just wanted to get it over with. And furthermore, Joshua's indifference to Stacy being gone was more evident when Joshua ultimately hired a babysitter named Jennifer Elkin to take care of his daughters while he was at work. You see, whenever Jennifer would come by to take care of the kids, he would never see Joshua upset or sad. He did not seem like he was a person that was grieving at all. Rather, he was very happy, like as if he did not lose a loved one at all. And it turns out that the reason for him being happy despite losing a wife, despite losing his wife, is because he had a girlfriend named Jennifer Elkin. I'm sorry, the babysitter's name is Kaylin McDonald. The girlfriend's name is Jennifer Elkin. You see, Jennifer Elkin and Joshua Hunsucker met through their work because they were co-workers, and it turns out that he had been in a relationship with Elkin ever since, like, even when he was still married to Stacy. So almost immediately he would start bringing Jennifer over, started introducing them to his kids, having them be part of his kid's life. And it came to a point where it was it was like Stacy was not even in the photo at all to begin with. He would not mention her, he would not speak of her, and that was really suspicious, not only to Kaylin, but also to Susan Robinson, the Joshua Hunsucker's daughter's grandmother. And it came to the point where Susie's suspicions started growing so much to where she reported him for fraud, because she had it in her mind that that Joshua used the money, because he ultimately took out money from the life insurance that he had on Stacy. She has her suspicions that she used the money that he had on Stacy to ultimately create a new life for himself, and therefore unalived Stacy. And on top of unaliving Stacy to get the money, he also wanted that money so he can start a new life with his new girlfriend. After Susie reported Joshua, the report was sent to Criminal Investigation Division, where it unfortunately went nowhere because medical professionals did rule her passing as natural causes. However, fortunately enough, the insurance investigators dug a little deeper. So they got one of their special agents named Lisa Morgan from the North Carolina Department of Insurance to investigate the case further. And she started off by going to the Life Share Donate, as Stacy was known for being registered as an organ donor, and they got the sample that was saved of Stacy's blood, and had it tested in a laboratory for toxicology testing. And as it turns out, they did find that Stacy was poisoned. In her blood, she had a chemical known as tetrahydroxylin, and this chemical is generally in eye drops. And it's not like Stacy had a regular amount of this chemical inside her body. No, she had 30 to 40 times more than the normal amount, and this, according to experts, to specialists, this could only be from constantly being given this kind of chemical. And on top of this, the chemical that she consumed, it was not like she had it an outer ingestion, like just squirting it in her eye. No, she was consuming it, ingesting it, without even knowing that she was ingesting it. Remember how I said that doctors could not figure out why she was having heart problems? Well, it's because of this specific chemical that she has been unknowingly consuming, that mimic natural illnesses. And it's because that this chemical can mimic natural illnesses that doctors were not able to figure out what was wrong through just basic routine testing. And this officially made Joshua Hunsucker a suspect in his wife's unalivement, as he as a paramedic knew what kind of medication can cause the body to have a certain effect. And on top of this, as a paramedic, he had access to different medications from the hospital I worked at without needing to log it in for inventory. And it was because of this that police investigators interviewed Joshua Hunsucker's friends and family. And as it turns out, it seems like Joshua got inspiration from the Lana Sue Clayton case when he was coming up with ideas on how to unalive his wife. The reason being that both Clayton and Hunsucker had careers in the medical field. They both used the same chemical to unalive their spouse. And as it turns out, later on, they learned that Joshua even unalived Stacy in the same way that Clayton did, because Clayton put the eye drops, which had the tetrahydroxylin, and put it in her husband's water. And that is exactly what exactly what Joshua did with Stacy. And also, to add on with those similarities between the two cases, they also learned from Joshua's coworkers that he even confessed that if he were to unalive someone, it would be through the use of eye drops. So, about a year later, in December 2019, the police investigators went to Joshua's home and arrested him. So he ultimately was arrested for the unalivement of his wife, Stacy Hunsucker, as well as for a felony insurance fraud. And the felony insurance fraud was because he took out money from the life insurance that again was set for Stacy, and lied for why he was taking it, in a sense. And he had a bond set for $1.5 million, which still for me was surprising that he was able to make that bail. But anyway, things would go from bad to worse from here in regards to this case. And this is not the worst part that I'm talking about, but he was given like a restraining order, so that he would not be able to touch the money, or I should not say restraining order. He was not allowed access to any of the life insurance, or at least what was left of the life insurance. So, but somehow he got into it, and this is where his behavior got violent, as he would stalk his in-laws, as well as send his in-laws packages, just so that they would stop, or that they would stop the murder case. And just knowing how protective Stacy's parents were of her, they did not stop. They continued on with the case. This is why I personally believe that Joshua then led to doing something even more extreme. You see, he was not getting his way with the stalking or the packages, so he decided to fake his kidnapping. And the way he did it was by saying that he was being hit by a pistol, had his hands tied together, and then accusing his father-in-law of planning the whole kidnapping. And I mean, luckily enough, I should not even say luckily enough, because the evidence was there. Good thing that the police officer saw right through it, and could tell that Mr. Robinson had nothing to do with the supposed kidnapping, and no charges were brought on to Joshua's father-in-law. However, Joshua would not stop, as the next thing that he did was try to unalive his daughter the same way that he unalived his wife. Luckily enough, the daughter survived. She's okay. She's living as good of a life that she could, considering what happened to her. But yeah, luckily she's still alive. And this time around, Joshua, when he was arrested for attempting to unalive his daughter, did not have bond, and we are still waiting for his trial to begin. And so Stacy Robinson Hunsucker was a very caring woman, a very loving mother. She wanted nothing but the best for her children, and it's sad that Joshua just couldn't ask for a divorce and let Stacy live her life happy and joyful and in peace. But luckily, happily, he is still in jail. He's awaiting trial. So as of right now, I guess all of what I said is alleged. But if you like my video and you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys soon.